you were saying. I can't use that. See here. Put that back in that bag of yours. Try to intercept Zeitel's telegrams. Get inside the wireless room. Surely someone on board knows what he's up to. And don't forget the cryptograph in your trunk. It will unscramble the German codes. Most importantly, find the Rubaiyat. Meanwhile, I'll conduct my own investigation. Off with you now. Go! You've decoded the message. Smashing. Brilliant. You've got the drop location. The boiler rooms. Blast. There's an entrance to the lower decks around here somewhere. Query the lift attendant. He's cheeky, but he knows this ship. Intercept the Rubaiyat before it changes hands. Surely there's a record of that painting coming aboard. Try the pursers. Hunting for a cufflink for the purser? Glory be! What about your mission? A cufflink? I don't want it. Give it to the purser. Then get on with your mission. Sending telegrams for the purser? What about the painting? Go tell the purser you sent his telegram. Trouble at the cargo room? Maybe the purser can help. Sneak a peek at the purser's cargo manifest. That should help you find the crate. Cargo stored somewhere beneath the forecastle deck. And hurry! I've evidence Zeitel's after the painting as well. Does the purser have some keys that can get you into the cargo hold? One of the stewards told me. The Turkish bath. Something's up. Go there immediately. Willie Hadelitz is dead. I suspect foul play with our Colonel Zeitel, the main suspect. But this clue you found, I can't make head nor tail of it. Perhaps Trask can help. More clues? What is this becoming? A scavenger hunt at a country house party? Remember, the important thing's the notebook. Find it. Well done. Listen, I've discovered the only way into the smokestack. Through the engine room. Find that notebook. Helping the Tsar will help us too. Did you find the notebook? No? Glory be! It's about time. You're late. Another 5 minutes and I'd have cancelled your mission. Yes, I'm Pringle. Penny Pringle. From the Bureau of Secret Service. You didn't think they'd plunk you down on this bucket of bolts and millionaires alone, did you? What a botch-up. Some idiot in the War Office booked me into second, not first class. And I've had a fine time of it, too. The crew wouldn't let me in the first cabin at all. It's just today I located you. Look at this. A German colonel named Zeitel. He's inspecting their embassies in Havana, Washington, and Mexico City. We know better. 10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, stolen 2 months ago in Paris after its purchase by a very highly placed member of His Majesty's government. The Rubaiyat's a book, a collection of medieval Persian poetry, a passion of his lordship's. Poetry. Persians. The German High Command must think it's important enough to have their top man smuggle the lot on board. It's your job to find out. His lordship's watching this very closely. Very closely indeed. I wouldn't fumble this chance either, unless you fancy spending the rest of your career in some grotty Midlands back office shuffling paper about. Of course. Didn't they tell you anything? Have you seen the report? In your trunk? On the international situation? I'd jolly well read it if I were you. No. He's with the protégé. Name of Hadelitz, I believe. The two spend a great deal of time in the Café Parisien. Nibbling pastries. Get into the wireless room. I don't know or care how. Officer Morrow wouldn't let me in. See if Zeitel's received or sent any telegrams about the Rubaiyat. You've got a cryptograph in your trunk. It'll unscramble the German codes for you. You use the brains God gave you. Watch people. Listen. When you find the Rubaiyat, knock on my door. Cabin F, 34. Use the second-class stairs. You should be set. Remember, this is your big chance. Don't fail. Glory be. What are you doing back here? Find that blasted book! I'll see if I can dig something up on him. He may be down there looking for the Rubaiyat. I suggest you find out. He's a famous art dealer. How is he connected to all this? Intercept the Rubaiyat before it changes hands. Did you get it? Did you find the Rubaiyat? Get it and bring it to me. Did you find anything on Zeitel? His mission? His contacts? No? If the Home Office hears of such lollygagging, your next mission's apt to be boiling water for the clerk's tea. Interesting. But we need evidence. There may not be a next time. At least I've made some headway. Listen. Zeitel's Titanic contact is a London art dealer named Sasha Barbican. The files say he's Serbian, interestingly enough, with links to some shady Balkan groups. We must have evidence. Something to connect this Barbican fellow to Zeitel. That photographer, Mr. Burns, he might have some more pertinent snapshots. Check with him. There is a photographer, a Mr. Burns, on board. He might have a photo of the two. Check with him. Let me see. That's the Rubaiyat, all right. Well done. Leave it with the purser for safekeeping. It shall be undisturbed there. Smashing. What have you learnt? I don't have any information about Vlad, but the other fellow, look here. They say he smuggles art, and he's not above selling stolen merchandise. The painting's what Zeitel's really after. You must secure it. Where or how, I don't care. Just find it and bring it back here. Remember, leave the Rubaiyat with the purser for safekeeping. He might also know where the painting's stored. Check the purser. He might know where the painting is stored. Things are thickening up quite nicely, aren't they? We've got to get our hands on that painting. Don't fail. Find anything else? Quite significant, but difficult to make out. It seems our photographer could use some practice developing his pictures. This man, here with Zeitel. That's Barbican. I'll keep this. Good work. I was wondering how you got so dirty. There's a spot on your cheek. Yes, right there. You got it. Clearly someone else has filched it. More art? Zeitel's no connoisseur. No, there's something about that painting of interest to the German High Command. Quick! I've tracked Zeitel and Sasha to the ship's stern. They're having a rather heated conversation. See if you can listen in. I'll track their movements. Did you get the painting? Blast! Someone got there before you. If only you'd been faster. Splendid! But now something else has come up. That snooty steward Smethels was looking for you. Find him, and kick him smartly in the shins. Here's a message for you. What did our young Mr. Hadelitz want? Their partnership appears to be dissolving. Who else knows young Hadelitz? Talk to anyone who may have seen him. Hadelitz's ring. Maybe Trask can tell you more about it. Finally, you're on the right trail. Follow those leads. Do you have the painting? Quickly, there's not much time. Willie Hadelitz is dead. Electrocuted in the Turkish bath. I heard one of the officers talking about it. This may not have been an accident. Apparently, someone wants that painting badly enough to kill for it. Do you have it? Smashing. Splendid job. Look here, on the back. It's a plan for Allied troop deployment in France. If Germany ever invaded, they'd have destroyed us. No wonder Hadelitz was killed. Well, Berlin won't get this now. Leave the painting with the purser. He'll keep it with the Rubaiyat. Not doing so well, are you? Someone must have taken the painting before you got there. Quite possibly. We need more information about the murder. Young Hadelitz? A Tsarist spy? It's beginning to become clear. A notebook. Zeitel's previous mission was aiding a band of Russian revolutionaries called Bolsheviks who want to overthrow the Tsar. The Germans would like nothing better than to see chaos in Russia. I'll bet that notebook's got names of Russian radicals. Like him. Mr. Lenin advocates the Tsar's overthrow. The Germans actively encourage him, and the other communist revolutionaries. Such a list would be very important to the Okhrana, the Russian secret police. With it, they'd root out the Bolshevik ringleaders and eliminate a threat to the Tsar. Which would certainly help the rest of us. If Hadelitz was murdered, you'll need protection. Here, this pen releases a single burst of knockout gas when opened. Find that notebook. It could be vitally important. And give that painting to the purser. Go investigate the situation at the Turkish bath. Move. A German colonel named Zeitel. He's inspecting their embassies in Havana, Washington, and Mexico City. We know better. 10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. Stop daydreaming, Carlson. We've work to do. You were saying? Glory be. Quit lollygagging and hurry. Yes, speak up. Did you want to say something? Show some backbone, Carlson. Get cracking. Yes, no, right, wrong. Excuse me, Carlson. Good night. Goodbye. Hello. Thank you. Hello. I suppose you know what happened. It was horrible. I barely made it into the lifeboat and onto the Carpathia. There weren't nearly enough of them. Lifeboats, that is. I was lucky to get off alive. We really didn't know what happened until we arrived in New York. This is what one of the newspapers reported. Words don't do it justice. The scene at the dock in New York was amazing. Dead silence as we made our way to the mooring. Then pandemonium. I saw Vincent Astor the younger. Somehow he'd made his way on board. He found Mrs. Astor. Mr. Astor went down with the ship. They say the White Star office was mobbed with relatives. So many of them were disappointed. Major Butt died. So did Mr. Guggenheim and young Mr. Andrews. Both of the Strausses went down. Mrs. Strauss refused to leave her husband. Perhaps she was wise. Ismay made it onto a lifeboat and now everyone's calling him a coward. I'll never forget it. It looked as if a huge skyscraper was being sucked into the sea. Sneak a peek at his cargo manifest. That should help you find the painting. Are you daft? Just find those objects and be quick about it. See, here. Put that back in that bag of yours. It's no time to be talking. That's a nasty bump. 'Twas a poor shot, that. You'll live. But for how long is the question? We've struck an iceberg. The incompetents, the idiots! That was an hour ago. The captain's called women and children to the boats. It's serious. She's sinking by the bow. She's got about an hour left, maybe a little more. The Rubaiyat. And a fine time I had getting it back from the purser. It's safer with you now. Don't you lose the Rubaiyat. Look, you have to find that book, the Rubaiyat, before the Titanic sinks. I've the painting. Take it. Keep the painting. It'll be safer with you. And the painting. You have to find it. We need to get those plans. Here's your necklace from the purser. And make sure that necklace doesn't end up in the wrong hands. The Serbian Vlad. He must have the notebook. Zeitel must have hidden the notebook. Perhaps it's in his room. Cabin C, 59. The notebook lists the names of Russian radicals. The Germans actively encourage Lenin and other revolutionaries. You must recover that notebook. This information is vitally important to our Russian allies. I know you're hurt, but the Titanic's sinking. It's not going to be easy. The lifts have been shut down for good. We must get the evidence off the ship before it goes. So, up we go. Now get cracking. How is the mission going? Good job. We need to get all these objects off the ship safely. Perhaps that Serbian Vlad has it. Where did you see him last? We've got to get the plans out of the painting. Maybe you can trade him something for it. Heidelitz must have given it to someone. Did he have any friends? Have you checked Zeitel's cabin? What about Vlad? The sailors are giving priority to women and children. If worse comes to worse, give me the evidence. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. There are still quite a few boats left. Time's growing short. Try to get the evidence and save yourself. That sailor's threatened to throw me on the next boat. But I can hold my own a little longer. Time's running short. There's still a chance. Yes, if it comes to that, but there must be some way to get off this ship. Try to complete your mission. We have a few more minutes. Yes, take the next available boat. Glory be, a baby. Listen.